Warhammer fans, your boy Aqua is here, and good morning. Today I just woke up and there is a post with a huge update. I have not read through this. I had a little scroll and I was just like, oh my god, this is long. I better turn the mic on and let's go through it. Starting off, we got some of the new artwork for a Space Wolves, and yeah, this artwork just straight up looks very sick to me. Studio update: the Space Wolves bring many changes to the game. Greetings, commanders. As many of you will have probably seen, the Space Wolves are coming into the game. The spawn of the Lehman Russ will howl into the fray on the 23rd of October. We have a date, boys. Let's go. Unleashing their theory alongside a major update, bringing big changes to the game. That said theory, right? Surely it did. Keep reading to find out what's changing and address to player feedback. This is a big one, so if you'd rather get a gist of it, you can check out the summarized version. Maybe we should go there. No. Big Daddy Terminator. Woo! Look at that hammer. Fuck yeah. Your boy Acra is excited for this. Skirmish is here to stay. Ooh. Fast-paced gameplay, tighter deck building, and a more accessible experience made Skirmish an instant favorite for us. So we're very happy that the community's reaction matched our own. The last Skirmish event showed us how much potential this mode holds, and while we'll keep fine-tuning it in the future, we're confident the current formula delivers a fun and competitive experience. With the arrival of Space Wolves on 23rd of October, Skirmish mode returns permanently. Fuck yeah. Complete with its own rankings and leaderboards. You'll also be able to challenge your friends and alliance mates to skirmish matches. So gear up for lightning fast duels and high octane conquest of glory and bragging rights. Ooh. Changes to the new player experience. Okay, this should be good. Since the start of the first Skirmish event, the game mode has shown major potential to be more than a seasonal pastime. In fact, the reduced deck limit was received very positive by our newer and casual players. After seeing the data from both events, we have decided to make Skirmish the gateway for new players. And your boy Aqua really liked the Skirmish mode, just saying. After the update on the 23rd of October, new players will start their journey in Skirmish mode. The tutorial and early progression will be tailored to this format, offering a smoother and more approachable experience. The first faction selection for a new player will also be limited to 4 factions, which we believe to be better suited factions to start the game. Ultramarines, Orcs, Black Legion, and some Necron action. That said, this shift also allowed us to make a highly requested change, as it's excitedly announced in the next header. Starter decks are back! Whoa! Starter decks are back! Oh my god, hang on. We got a picture of new fairies. Let's go! Earlier this year, we moved the starter decks you could earn in the faction campaign to be only available for premium campaign holders, and I was highly critical of this. I said it was a bad move. I didn't even understand why they did it. It just didn't make sense. Starter decks are pretty shit in general. It's just a great way for new players to get some cards to try the faction out. Okay, in exchange, the first many reward nodes of the regular campaign would grant additional bursts of random cards from that faction. You can also gain legendary cards on a small chance on this. Just want to point that out. If this is gone, I'm going to be a bit disappointed. This change was an attempt to avoid new players feeling overwhelmed by the starter deck, suddenly receiving dozens of new cards that they may have never seen before. In the end, this change would grant players many more cards than a starter deck, but at a slower pace, aiming to allow players to meet a faction step by step. However, with Skirmish's smaller deck sizes and easier learning curve, it's the perfect time to reintroduce starter decks, now redesigned for a Skirmish. Ooh. With the return of starter decks, we'll also readjust the first nodes of all campaigns. In the end, it gives similar number of cards than before. You'll also see that some of the nodes that gave random cards will be changed for specific cards, and that makes sense as options to tweak starter decks. With these changes, we hope starting a new campaign will now feel more rewarding than ever. Interesting. I wonder how good the new campaign nodes will be. We'll have to have a cheeky squiz of that once it's released. Collector level and changes to the core game. New players will not be able to see classic mode from the start. Oh, that's interesting. We are adding a collector level to each player's profile, which is increased by collecting and visually upgrading cards. Once a new player reaches a collector level milestone and have played some skirmish matches, they will be able to access classic mode. Oh, that is a weird change. When the update goes live, all players will get a matching collector level according to their current collection. Oh my god, I wonder what level the boys' collections are gonna be. As part of this update's shift to having skirmish mode as the first mode players compete in, all warlords will have base health reduced by 10. What? All warlords' base health will be reduced by 10, aligning with the skirmish rule. In classic modes, warlords will receive plus 10 bonus health. So don't worry, your classic decks will perform just as they did before. Okay, that confused me just for a moment there. I was like, hold up, what? Okay, so just standard as it was before, I believe. Draft mode will also start following skirmish rules. When you start a draft run, you will now build your deck by selecting your warlord and then 4 packs of free cards in any match in which you are the second player. You'll get a random defense card added to your hand. Drafts will now be faster than ever, but the rewards will remain the same, so get ready to draft your way to the top. Oh, that is a huge change to draft mode. I don't know how I feel about this one, boys. I feel like we should have skirmish draft and classic draft mode. I don't like them just removing it completely. That is a weird change. I'm just going to say right now, that one's a weird change. I'm not sure how I feel about it. We'll have to play it and see how it performs. But for now, I'm like, ooh, I don't like it. We got a new artwork image, and yeah, this one's pretty cool. Faction leaderboards are coming back. Yes, we have read the threads, Discord messages, and social media replies. We are taking a look at ways to improve the new scoring system, but for the time being, we're bringing faction leaderboards back. Skirmish will also have its own ranked ladder with its own end-of-season rewards, including skirmish-themed champion card backs for a season's very top players to hold during the following season. Not a permanent unlock, just a temporary unlock, and once again, that is a shit thing. The next season will also be slightly longer than usual, lasting from the 23rd of October until the 1st of December. Keep your blades sharp, it's bound to be one hell of a season. Offensive cards are going away, what do you mean? Some of the main aspects we've been trying to improve with recent changes has been match length and player mental load. Unfortunately, one of the features we were most excited by when first developing the game was also one of the main culprits making both of these aspects worse. What do you mean? I like offensive cards, it's fun. I feel like the system just needed a tweak. Okay, hang on, let's get into it. While we are very proud of the visual changes and twists they add to the matches, offensive cards ultimately slowed matches and added extra mental load to decision making. So we've made the tough call. Offensive cards are being removed from the game. What the fuck? The Forge will be updated to change each offensive card for a different reward. Players who already claim their offensive cards when the update goes live. Players who already claimed their offensive card when the update goes live will automatically be granted the new rewards in the background. What the fuck? This, however, does not mean you'll never see offensive effects and visuals in the game again. We are taking a look at ways to introduce these effects in the game in other ways. Stay tuned for more news. This change also motivated us to make the changes to defensive cards. I'm just going to say I like defensive cards. I thought it was a fun feature. I just wish we had more variety in it. Not locked behind faction, just like 3 out of the ones you own, picked at random or something like that. I thought it was a fun mechanic. Defensive cards will be selected in deck building. What? Just like offensive cards, selecting your defensive card before each match added an extra step that slowed down the action. With Skirmish proving how great it is to jump straight into a battle, we're now bringing some of that immediacy to classic matches too. From now on, for both classic and skirmish decks, you'll choose your defensive cards during deck building. Just like your warlord, you can pick any defense card you've unlocked for that faction, and if you try to enter a match with a deck missing one, the game will warn you in advance, so you can make adjustments. This means that after the update, you'll start classic matches in the mulligan phase and strike the battle as soon as both players have their starting hand ready. Okay, that seems cool. I like the start the match, get in quicker to the action. That bit is cool. However, sometimes against different factions, you want to use a different defensive card. So losing that choice is going to be huge for us. Smarter mission. The current mission system has been a feature that we have wanted to update for a very long time. Now in the current iteration, you can end up being asked to trigger obscure obscure traits force you to play in ways you do not particularly enjoy, or head into a practice mode to complete your mission before doing what you actually wanted to do. That's not exactly a fun way to progress, I agree. With this update, we aim to make missions smarter and more engaging. Trait-specific missions are going away. If you have one in progression, when the update goes live, it will auto be completed and ready to claim. Oh, there will be a new batch of generic missions that you should be able to complete with most decks. Missions that ask you to play specific factions will be less common for newer players and will only show up if you have enough cards to create a deck for that faction. That's a good change. Also, practice mode will no longer contribute to your daily mission progression. Ooh, we know this mode was a handy tool for completing certain missions, but with skirmish mode now becoming a mainstay mode, the upcoming improvements to daily missions, we're confident that you completing your missions will feel more streamlined and fun than before, no matter if you're climbing the ranks or just jumping in for a quick game. Generic campaign points. Say goodbye to juggling campaign. What? Long live the active campaign. With the upcoming update, daily missions will reward a brand new currency, generic campaign points. These versatile points will be spent on any campaign you want, giving you freedom to choose the cards, rewards, or factions that matter most to you without the hassle of having to constantly switch between campaigns before you redeem your missions. What the fuck? While there'll be limit to the amount of points you can stock up, the system will work exactly as it does now, except with the added flexibility to spend these points as you wish. Oh, okay. Premium campaigns will still grant you faction-specific points, and whenever you spend campaign points, the game will automatically use those first, keeping your generic points safely stored for whenever you really need them. Okay, that's a cool feature. Just straight up, that's a cool feature. Crystal cost change addressal. Ooh. Last month, a change that increased the crystal cost of visually upgrading cards by approximately 12% and slightly reduced crystal awarded in draft mode sneakily made its way into the game. These changes were intended for a later update, but were unintentionally included ahead of schedule. Well, thank you. Thank you for that change. That is the change everybody asked for. Less crystals and things cost more. Thank you, Warpforge. Because of this, they were not documented in the release notes at the time. Once the issue was identified, we made the decision to communicate the changes closer to when it was originally planned to go live with this month's update. In hindsight, that was not the right path to take. You think? Hold up. You think? And we have already taken steps to improve the in-studio communication and how these situations are handled going forward. Oh, thank you, mate, thanks. This change is part of the larger reviewing of the in-game economy. The crystal balance has been in need of adjustment for quite some time, with many players eventually accumulating large reserves of them with limited incentive to spend them. While we're working on introducing new and more meaningful ways to use crystals, we're also needed to rebalance existing sinks to support a healthier long-term economy. Okay. Hold up. I just want to point out there that I don't spend my crystals. Like, if I'm going for level 40 Forge in a campaign, I'm not just going to spend every 100 crystals I get until I get it. I'm just going to build up a huge chunk and just spend it all at once in case those cards get changed in the future. So for me, building up crystals, it's more me just saving them for the moment when I have enough cards to, zerg up and get the next milestone for my account. And sometimes you need to spend like 30, 40, 50,000 crystals just to get that milestone. So for players to have a large amount of crystals, if that's the number you're talking about, that sort of makes sense to me. You're sort of building it up, waiting for that. Maybe waiting for a new faction to spend it on. Yeah, I still feel this crystal change was uncalled for, and I still does not make sense to me. I don't like it. In summary, okay, that's just it going over in like short mode. Fuck that. What will come next? Ooh, here we go. There is a lot to process already in this publication. You think? I've been reading for like a good 2 hours. My voice is going to be fucked after this. But we wanted to share where our priorities lie right now. In the last roadmap, we announced that one of our main goals for the second half of this year was to slow down the amount of new content in order to take a look at parts of the game that we're not happy with. Currently, we're focusing our efforts on improving frequency of live events, a new PvE mode, alliances. This, of course, together with the working on the next piece of content, but that's a story for another moment. For now, sharpen your fangs and get ready to howl into battle at the command of the Space Wolves for the Allfather Get ready, furry boys! Space wolves are coming soon! Okay, so what do we pick up from this? A new PvE mode? I don't think they're talking about skirmish mode here. I think they're talking about an additional mode. And I also feel like we're going to get more live events, sort of like the premium draft mode where you spend 10 crystals. Things like that coming soon. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Alliances. Fuck yeah, they need to change. And boys, if you're looking for an alliance, come join Clan Aqua. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. This update has been a big one. Catch you in the next one. Aqua out. Peace.